Oh, here we go. And oh, yeah, it's an early morning for those of you who are joining over in the United States of America. And those of you elsewhere, it might not be an early morning, but it's a time of day. Hello and welcome. I'm Rich Slayton from Clash Royale League here with you for the No Tilt Worlds Day 9 morning games. How the heck are you? And, I think we have a thing happening on the screen. I'll shut up now. Well, that was a video that was playing. Well, there was a fun video playing that had an introduction and all the things going on. And then now we have the countdown screen back. So, that's fun. Hi, guys. How are you? Good night from Taiwan, says Bastian. How are you? Good to see you. What's the background music? I have no idea. I'm just here casting, guys. And Thunderstruck. Yeah, well, I'm on both Twitch and YouTube. Probably not the real Thunderstruck, is just my guess over there. Good morning to Death Adder. Anton saying, I hope Legend and Onion can fight Mugi's squad. It's really hard to face Mugi, Jack, and friends. Yeah, no, that Japanese squad is real stacked. We're going to go through the lineups here in a minute, but I'll just tell you right now, because it's insane. It's dirty. It's filthy, right? Mugi, Jack, Kita, Hajime, KK, and Pandora. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. That's, what's the best word for it? Brutal? Brutal? It's going to be very difficult for everybody to get that out, and in particular their opponents today. Vietnam going to have a struggle, but we'll see what happens. Someone who has a name in Arabic that I can't read says, Rich, I have a question. Well, I will answer your question, sir, so go ahead and ask it. Hello from Vietnam, says On Fan. Hello to you, too. So, guys, this is what's really weird. I have my my clean feed set up for 1080. But whatever, let me show you what I'm getting, just so you guys aren't shocked when it happens. This is the signal I'm currently getting from the feed. So, you know, we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and ask production. Signal is really bad. I'm messaging production right now, see what happens with them. Japan 3-0, says Bastian. Yeah, more likely easier on in this tournament. I think they were earlier, but they are no longer. Right, let me see. I don't think they made it to this stage, if I remember correctly. Let me go to the eyes in my list of teams. Yeah, no Iran. Not at this stage. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun, guys. The matches for today, let's see if it has improved the quality yet. Nope, it hasn't, but we're starting off today with Japan versus Vietnam, followed by that, Pakistan against the Netherlands. And that's what I'll be streaming here. And then later today, you're going to have some more mischief and mayhem. It's going to be a whole lot of fun when, as we get into the later matchups of Turkey and Algeria, and then Spain versus Italy, which should be a banger. Spain certainly one of the favorites overall in this tournament. Pretty fire roster there in Spain at all times. So again, I'm not really sure why the resolution is 1p, but we'll figure it out. Quality of stream. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and maybe try to restart the clean feed here. I'm not sure what's happening. Let's see if I can restart that feed and it'll improve. Maybe that'll do it. Oh, looks like it did. Sweet. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at today's matches one more time. Japan versus Vietnam kicking things off, followed by that Pakistan versus Netherlands. Later today, Turkey and Algeria. And then Spain versus Italy. It seems like Italy. España versus Italy. I don't know the rest of these accents, but those two I can almost do. Kazim lives in Pakistan. Yes. I don't know if Kazim lives in Pakistan or if he is Pakistani but lives in the U.S. That's actually a good question as to which one of those it is, Thunder. So we will... I think he lives in the U.S., but he's of Pakistani descent. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. Next Gen Graphics says, wow, Pakistan, they are the Tekken, now CR. Yep. Hey, show of Rising Sun Esports in the chat with a Japan strong. Let's see if the Japanese live up to their hype, which is very justified because that team is stacked. HK says, are you streaming the Spain game? No, I am not. I'm streaming this morning, and that's going to be about it. So this will be it for the day. And then, of course, tomorrow, Clash Royale League 2021, this month's, I guess you call it the March. Yeah, the March top 8. That starts tomorrow. Going to be super fun. This weekend, Shodo Mystic saying, did Netherlands beat Brazil yesterday? Spoiler alert, result coming in case you don't want to know about it. And they didn't play yesterday. They're not in the same group. The Netherlands is in this group, and Brazil is in a different group entirely. So, no, they didn't. They did not beat them yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's matchup. The first one, the marquee matchup, the one everyone's excited to see, Japan versus Vietnam. And, of course, that Japanese squad is insane. Look at the number of CRL jerseys on there, right? Pandora is already a killer, and he's amongst the rest of these guys. KK, Hajime, Jack, Kitassyan, and one of the potential best in the world, Mugi, who's certainly on that list of top 5. And a good performance in this tournament, of course, would certainly help support that. Who is streaming Spain versus Italy? I have no idea, but I'm sure it will be on Twitter. At some point, someone will say, hey, this guy's streaming this. So, you know, that'll be cool too. By the way, let's take a look at the Vietnamese lineup here. And there's some serious talent here. I mean, if you take a look just at Onion and Legend alone, some serious experience. But Dermav can definitely play. I don't know why we're looking at... Yeah, there we go. All the graphics are changed up. Trung, I don't know. IOKNA and Steven rounding out that roster. But Onion, Legend, and Dermav, all definitely guys. Dermav. All guys who can play for sure. So this should be a fun one, although Japan does have to be the favorite here. What's a solid deck for ladder, says Make My Day. Whichever one you're winning with the most. Samuel Greenberg saying Ruben fell off a cliff. Mugi is the best in the world right now. I don't know if Mugi can lay claim to that right now, Samuel Greenberg. That's going to be an interesting question. Whether or not even Mugi has the ability to call himself best in the world right now. That title seems very much up for grabs. And you do have 2 players who've made back-to-back CRL weekends in Mini Minter and Line. Not to mention how Molight's been playing lately. So starting here very soon, Japan and Vietnam. Mugi won't be playing today, unfortunately, says Show. Why, is he asleep? Mugi is very good, but I guess we're not going to see Mugi today. So, if everyone tuning in to see Mugi, tune out now! I guess you should stick around. Let's see. Japan, one of the 2 best nations of CR in Spain. Yeah, I mean, Japan's insane with Clash Royale. Japan qualified, like, more people for Clash Royale than all the rest of the countries for CRL than, like, everyone else combined, I feel like. It's pretty nuts. Magic Paladin saying, I still feel bad that KFC lost to Hajime so bad. I didn't watch that one, but, you know, good luck. Oh, thank you. Mrs. Slayton dropping in with some hot coffee for the morning. Let's get it going. Anticipation is killing us. Yeah, I'm dying too. So let's go ahead and watch some Clash Royale, huh? He's either busy or lazy. Yeah, that sounds like Mugi. So here we go. Kicking things off in our first of our potential 5 sets. Duel mode. It's going to be Hajime against Trung. And Hajime looking like to be Royal Giant Skeleton. Could be Pigs. Probably Royal Giant, though. And Trung with the not often seen Musketeer these days. We'll see if this is going to the skies or not. So it might be going Graveyard here for Trung. We'll see. Giant Skeleton sets up to the right-hand side one more time. Remember, this is dual mode, meaning you cannot repeat cards game by game in this first BO3 as we go into the future BO3s. We'll be seeing different modes. Dual mode for the first one, classic for the second one, King of the Hill set number 3, and then back around one more time for more dual and more classic. Giant Skeleton cleans up the back end here. first real significant damage done, 2026 on the right-hand side by the Royal Giant. Same with Greenberg asking, Rich, if you were in charge of balance change, which you are not, to be clear, would you nerf Royal Recruits, and if so, how? Yes, I'd nerf them by making them 15 elixir and each have 1 HP, because it's the premise of Royal Recruits I don't really like. I don't love a card that has, like, really only limited ways to play it, right? Like Royal Recruits, you play it back to the left, back to the right, or back in the middle. There are technically only 6 placements that make any sense for Royal Recruits, right? Back, left, right, middle, or up, left, right, middle. I just don't love that conceptually. HK saying, to be fair, does Japan really even need Mugi? They are so stacked about it, wouldn't even make a difference. And Derv Champ over on the Twitch chat is gross. Hunter up high, Zappy's split, Musketeer taken care of on the right-hand side easily. Graveyard in on that left-hand lane, and this is actually a relatively significant push, but way too little. Now that Hajime took that left-hand tower. GG, well played. Game number 1 going to Japan. Raise your hand if you are shocked by this one. I don't see any hands. All right, game number 1 going to Japan. Hajime taking that first one. GG, well played. So we'll take a look at the decks here in just a couple of moments. My Royal Recruits are my only level 1, and I still went with it on ladder. Says underleveled CR. Well, that would make sense given your name. And Hajime 8.5k personal best. That's pretty nutty. So here we go. Game number 1. Graveyard out for Trung. Hajime with RG Giant Skeleton. This is basically, this Royal Giant deck and the slight variations are essentially the most common, I believe they're the most common deck played overall in dual mode at the moment. They do allow for lots of other archetypes. They don't really conflict with any of the popular graveyard decks. It's interesting to see what happens when we do get the balance changes coming up at some point. Make My Day says, hey, Rich, I love your Inside the Play series. When are you going to make more of them? When I have time. The Inside the Play series is so labor-intensive. It takes a lot of time to make every one of those. And the reality is, this is what's actually crazy about it, is that I make a short and get 130,000 views, and that it takes me like 2 hours to make. And then I spend 2 days making a Inside the Play, and it gets 6,000 views. So it's one of those ones where it's you know, difficult to justify spending the time on those Inside the Plays, even though I love doing it. What kind of glasses are these? These are Gooders. These are Gooders Box of Demons over on Twitch. The link, I don't think it goes to Twitch. Let me go ahead and I'll copy it from YouTube over to the Twitch side. It should come into my YouTube chat in a second. I can copy it over and send it to you guys over on Twitch. Boom, there you go. Did I cast B-Rad in CRL? Yeah, I've cast every single match of CRL, West, North America, and Latin America. So. Sorry for the cough. I didn't hit my cough button in time. Hoggy Q from Hajime saying same with Greenberg. And Trung going with a deck you don't love to see at high-level gameplay. The deck that essentially, one of the decks that made me stop doing open tournaments. Goblin Giant Sparky. It is a deck. There are cards in it, and people win with it sometimes. That's my full evaluation of Goblin Giant Sparky. Hog Rider to the left-hand side. Going to get 1, maybe 2 hits here. Does get the second. No, not quite. Minions take care of business. Dark Prince to the right-hand side. Matchup Paladin expecting the Final Forms deck from Trung, yeah. Raging with KD says, hi, Rich. Hello, Raging. How are you? Faction D says, hi, Rich. I'm in love with you. Well, I appreciate that, and maybe in our next life. But currently I'm married, so, you know, I got love for you, but I'm not in love with you. You know what I mean? Here we go. Hog hits on the right-hand side, 1739 to 1257. Dual lane split. This is the right way to play this one for Trung. Put it on both sides. Good delivery here from Hajime. He's far enough ahead that if he can at least control this Sparky, and there you go, nicely controlled. Dark Prince does get away. The dual lane pressure going to be really annoying here for Sparky, but overall, Hajime has so many ways to control and reset. He cycles around fairly quickly. And I do wonder if this was, a lot of people in the chat saying Hajime has super hard counter. I wonder if this was a snipe going with the Inferno Tower version of this deck, or if it was simply luck of the draw on this one. Twisted Goblin saying cheers from Morocco again. Dark Prince does get controlled. Sparky should be dealt with fairly easily. Final 90 seconds and sets up Inferno Tower one more time. The ability to cycle around very, very quickly, certainly valuable here for Hajime. That zap's kind of a nasty reset. And delivery does get down just in time. And the Hog does not get a shot, but EQs are in, final minute, and it's just a matter of time at this point. Show is saying luck of the draw here. It was not a snipe. It was not an intended matchup. And since Show is helping run this Japan team, I guess we'll go with it. Hajime with an easy 2-0 here to kick things off against Vietnam. Underleveled saying definite snipe, but then one of the managers of Japan saying luck of the draw. So, you know, 50-50 on that one. And I'm trying to figure out which replay this one is. Just pretty easy defense here. Yeah, pretty easy, clean defense from Hajime. No troubles whatsoever. And Trung just going with one of the semi-pro specials. And we're playing at the pro level right now, up against a guy like Hajime, and it does not pay off. So there's no matchup data there. You'd think it should be pretty heavily in Hajime's favor. Make my day saying cheers from UK. Cheers back to the UK. Marco saying real delivery made it an impossible matchup. I mean, yeah, it helped control against the minions and gave a recruit to absorb those Sparky shots. Pretty nasty over there. Ludwig says, what's up? What's up to you as well? Hajime was playing this on ladder a couple of days ago. Interesting. Hog EQ with Inferno Tower. We've been seeing that make a bit of a resurgence lately. Chicken Gamer over in the Twitch chat. How are you? I don't know which. Let me see if that. Let me go ahead and see if that's the chicken that I think it could be. I don't think so. Well, set number 1 in the books. And as a reminder to everybody, we are playing best of 5 sets here overall. Right now, Japan with the advantage. But coming up next, our second set is going to be a classic battle. Just regular old Clash Royale best of 3. You play a deck, I play a deck, and we go back and forth. No bans, no nothing. That's always going to be the set 2 format, and then set 3 King of the Hill. Let's see. Someone say his highest is 5,600. So, guys, one thing to note about the highestes, right? The personal best that they have on these feeds is that all the data is being pulled directly from Stats Royale based on what account they're playing with. So, if, for example, a player is playing on a newer account because they're not playing on an account that they may have used in other situations, some of those personal bests might not be indicative of the actual personal best. So, thoughts on Light not making the top 8? It happens, dude. That Swiss bracket is so brutal. I would love it if the Swiss bracket, rather than be just based off of opponent's win rate, if it balanced your win rate and your opponent's win rate, right? If it was an average of those two, right? Because at the moment, The one hard part about the Swiss bracket is that if you lose a game early, you end up, say like you in first round get matched up against Morton, and you lose because it's Morton, right? So now the next few opponents you have are all people who lost match number 1, right? So it lowers your overall opponent's win rate to take an early loss versus a late loss. 2 players who are 8-3, if one of them lost early versus one of them lost late, that balance is very different. So I would love it if your win rate and opponent's win rate were averaged or somehow balanced as opposed to just being opponent's win rate. But, you know, I'm not in charge of it, and we are getting some pretty fire players this weekend. So KK up next. KK had a good showing overall in the first CRL monthly. Not one of the 2 to make it again this time around. Got fairly close, if I remember correctly. I cast the top 32. I don't remember much of it now. Wall breakers to the right-hand side for IOKNA? Where are you from, Rich? Says Josiah. I am from California originally, and I live in Texas now. Alpha Moriarty said, I don't like how you really can't follow a certain player. Yeah, it's a very different thing this year. That's for sure. Those of you who are enjoying the sunglasses, on Twitter later today, I'm going to be doing one of my closest HP challenges for CRL this weekend. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I think that link is going to go to both YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. After today's stream, I'll be posting up the competition. You guess the closest HP battle on the weekend of this CRL top 8. And the winners will be put, of course, into a top drawing where if you get it correctly, you could win $50 plus 15. That's right, 15 pairs of Gooder sunglasses. 15 pairs. Plus, we'll be just giving away random 5 more pairs. So if you want to win $50 and then 15 pairs of Gooder sunglasses, by the way, the Gooders, they sell for $25 a piece. So let me look at what 15. I should know how to do math, but I'm going to do it right now so I don't think about it. $375 worth of Gooders. So that's pretty crazy. 15 pairs to one person. Anyone want to flex like crazy? Yeah, 15 pairs deep throat. That's right. So twice in a row, Japan opening up with Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton. There might not be Giant Skeleton in this one, but Royal Giant Cycle, essentially the same deck. Twice in a row, Japan opening up with this one. Of course, this one means standard mode, not dual mode. Wall breakers do sneak through because, wow, wait, why did they sneak through here? The skeletons should have been sufficient. Was there something in there that I missed? Royal Giant sets up left-hand lane. Do I like LeVar Ball? I have no strong opinion on him one way or the other. Magic Archer, Wall Breakers, Miner gets to the back. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe there's a Miner before him. RG to the left-hand lane. Bomb Tower high in response. Knight gets pulled off. And back to a second one. Well placed with the log here. Miner goes to try to work on this Royal Giant. Yeah, just kind of desperation play at this point, trying anything he can to DPS down that second Royal Giant. And he does stop the damage, but ends up way behind. Because KK could just set up to defend against this one, and now he'll have the Elixir advantage. Wall breakers to the right-hand side. Log will be enough to finish those ones off. Final minute 20 here. Magic Archer sets up to the right for the Vietnamese player. Miner going to go to the back of the tower. I think KK mostly ignores this. No, he decides to go ahead and defend. Thought he was going to go get the Magic Archer and not get the Miner in that situation. Decided to pick up the Miner in the end. Ewiz gets one more shot. 8:04 to 11:27. Royal Giant set up in the back one more time. Final 53 seconds. This time he does get ahead of the Miner, gets the full-on pickup with the Skellies. Magic Archer, and a nice NATO on the Ewiz out of IOKNA? IOKNA? Can someone get a pronunciation on that? Double Royal Giants. Fancy footwork here by the Vietnamese player, but will it be enough here? Royal Giant gets there on the left-hand side, gets one shot, gets a second shot down, and now 3 Royal Giants on the board at once. Is this a special mode? Is this quadruple? Is this infinite elixir? Did I see 3 Royal Giants on the board at the exact same time? IOKNA made a really, really good push for that on the right-hand side. This play was great. It's not this one. This was the defense, and then now double Royal Giants down. But he made a really strong effort for it on the right-hand side with that NATO, but 2 Royal Giants down. Just there's no stopping this at this point. No stopping it. 2 Royal Giants down. 3 Royal Giants down. The 3 RGs. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Alcatraz says, I want to be in the NBA for dunking on Anthony Davis in Lakers, California. I support you, I think. Yeah, 42 and 43 HP. Pretty crazy. What do I think about E-Giant? I don't love it. Let's see. It's pronounced IOKNA. IOKNA? 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 That's not a very phonetic pronunciation. E-Y-O-K-N-E. IOKNA. Yeah, KK just dropped it hard on him though in that one. Ooh boy, it's gonna be a rough one, I tell you. Guys, one more time, if you do like the shades, you like the sunnies, doing a giveaway. As soon as this is over, I'll go post it on my Twitter @RichSlayton. Right? It's right there. @RichSlayton. There you go. @RichSlayton. Right there. I'll post it on Twitter. I'm gonna do a lowest HP challenge for CRL this weekend. Winner gets $50 plus 15 pairs of Gooder sunglasses. And I'm giving away 5 more random ones as well in that same contest. So if you want to have a collection to rival mine, you can win that one going into this weekend. That's pretty crazy, huh? What up, Bart Vandeloo? Hog Rider to the right-hand side. Is IOKNA playing... for a second I thought he was going to be playing some Hog. Looking like it's going to be Balloon Cycle instead. Miner in. So it is pretty classic version of Miner Loon. This is an interesting thing, and I don't know if anyone has any insight to this in the chat, but you'll notice that non-pro, like good but not pro players, like good semi-pros, often play more classic decks rather than keep up with the meta, right? Like this Miner Loon deck, it's a fine deck. This has not been a central meta deck for a long time. It's a pretty classic Miner Loon deck, but it's still being used, right? But it's still, you don't see pros really use it. You really see semi-pros use it. So I'm curious about what's behind that. What's what leads to that? Because you'll see this so much. Very, very interesting. I've noticed it pretty consistently. What do I think about CSGO? It's a game people play. Shipping to the whole world, says Ask Cow. You know what? Let me say let me remember exactly where the shipping would be. It would ship to... Hold on, I can tell you. Distribution is for North America, Europe, Japan, and... Yeah, I think Canada's included. The U.S., Europe, Japan, Mexico. That's where the shipping will be for the sunglasses. So I'll put that in the rules when I post it on Twitter. But Europe, the U.S., Japan, and Mexico, and I believe Canada as well. Bart Vandeloo says, the reason I'm a semi-pro, but the reason people play decks like that is because they're comfortable with that deck and have practiced it a lot within other metas. Yes, but why aren't they keeping up with these metas? That's what I'm curious about. When you're still, a pretty solid player. Like I'm not even a quarter pro, and I keep up with the meta pretty consistently. Al Shihi saying pros are good with most decks, but semi-pros aren't. So because of that, they tend to use a classic deck that is generally in their ladder. It's generally a ladder deck. Yeah, but why doesn't your ladder deck evolve to the meta, is my question. Balloon in. No need for the snowball here. Hog down. KK's having trouble getting hits, but he's not far behind. And that's going to take just one hog hit to really change the game, and that Knight does it instead. And now he's got the triple spell and should have no trouble defending from here on. KK with a good matchup. Should be pretty good. Gonna go ahead and Night High here onto the Muskie. Hey, Sandy, the OP mod in the chat over on the YouTube side. Good to see you. HogRider down. And HogRiders are just, at this point, HogRiders could get a shot, and that one almost does. That they're more to just force out expenditure defensively from IOKNA. From IOKNA. Yeah, let's see. Aigao Princess saying, yeah, this minor loon isn't even good, coming in from a minor loon player. Yeah, it's interesting that it's comfort. It's just interesting that people's comfort decks remain outdated, right? Like, my comfort decks keeps up with the meta to a certain degree, right? Like, in this very long meta, I've been using minor wall breakers, and I went from minor wall breakers, the Fireball version, to the Magic Archer NATO version. Where can I watch CRL playoffs, says Cal? You can watch it on the official Clash Royale Esports YouTube page. The link is actually in the description below. Here we go, final 15 seconds. It's actually fairly close here, but the spell cycle should be able to win this one out. Good pressure here from IOKNA, though. Miner going to do some damage, but not enough, I don't believe. Yep, Snowball resets the Miner. GG, well played. And so far, that's a nice 4-0 for Japan. KK making it look maybe not quite easy, but getting the win here. Greg saying, Gregor, in case I do remember you, Gregor. So that's a GG and a well played. And whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Got a good little crew on both sides. Let's take a look at the matchup and the stats here. C-Star saying, one mistake and you lose everything. Well, I don't think this is. I don't think that IOKNA really had a great chance in this one, to be honest. Like, look at this matchup here, right? KK can defend the loons and the miners both fairly easily. If the Muskie gets through, that's only because of a mistake, right? But Snowball, Archers, and Bomb Tower, pretty simple defense here against most of those balloons, as long as you just make sure you're working on managing your cycle correctly. And then as long as you don't get too far behind by the time you hit triple, it's spell cycle out and get the win. First set was Hajime and who was it for Vietnam? Let me see. Who was it for Vietnam? First set was Hajime for Japan. And for Vietnam, the first set was, please hold. I'll get it in a second here. I have it written down somewhere around here. The first set was it Dramav? Dramav? It was Trung. It was Trung was the first set. There we go. Will I cast CRL tomorrow? I will cast CRL always. That's my job. I'm one of the casters for CRL. So yes. Do I have a Discord? Yeah, I do. I don't know if I never really do. I don't do much with it, but I do have a Discord. One of these days, maybe there'll be more stuff going on there. But I'll link the Discord in case anybody wants to join it. And then one day when I do something very cool on that Discord, you'll all be there, man. Let me go ahead and grab the Discord link. I'll go ahead and put up there's a go. There you go. There's a Discord link. That should be it. I think we good. And here we go. Into King of the Hill. If you don't know how King of the Hill works, I don't think you've ever watched competitive Clash Royale, but if you don't know, here's how competitive King of the Hill works. Each team puts forward 3 players. Each player has 1 life. Once a player loses, they sit down. They're done. Your goal is to beat the other 3 players. If you win, you stay on the board. If you lose, you go back to the bench. How does one try out for no-till for their country, asks Squibby. It depends on the country. But if you're one of the top players in your nation, if you have to ask, if you have to ask the price, right? That's one of the better ways to put it. But overall, if you're good enough in your country, you'll probably get contacted for your team. King there will be 2v3. Jack is in lineup, but he is unavailable. Oh, Jack's unavailable. So what happens then? Is it does Jack is if he gets to Jack, is that a free win for Vietnam? That's so weird. That's so weird. Der Greg saying no chance getting a no till it's coming from Germany. Yeah, sorry. If you're in countries like Germany, Japan, Spain, Brazil, like good luck. What does final hit points indicate? Oh, that indicates how much HP each tower had left. Hey, Rich, who is your current favorite player? Who's my current favorite player? That's an interesting question. I have to think about that. I mean, it's no secret I'm a big fan of all the Japanese teams. Like, ever since meeting Ponos at World Finals in 2018 and just how fun they were, I've been a huge fan of a lot of the Japanese squads. That being said, my favorite player right now. Well, let's see who wins this weekend, huh? Good job with the log to Wallbreaker's kite. Wallbreakers won't connect. Oh my god, one actually connects. How did one actually connect? It just cannot go right for Vietnam. Show says we had to put someone else in the lineup, but none of the other players were able to play, so we just put in Jack. Wow, okay, so there you go. So this is interesting. This exact same construction kind of goes with either a giant skeleton or a graveyard deck. Almost exact same construction, this double prince variation. And so far, double prince graveyard not working out too well here for Steven. Pandora easily controlling this. York asking, do I think Clash Royale is too matchup dependent? I mean, yes, it's such a weird question, right? Because it's inherent to a game like this, is that matchups are a part of it. You know, it's difficult trying to find ways to reduce matchup, like, variability. Trying to find ways to reduce randomness of matchup. Whatever to put it. Like, bans is one way, duels is another. It's a hard. What is it if you don't have the variety? Right? Like, how do you make a game that is interesting and compelling and evolving, but that also doesn't involve matchup being such a huge thing? Pandora takes that one pretty simply. Very nice work. All right, it's a hard thing to think about. Like, how do you contend with that one? The one thing that is challenging about it from a storytelling perspective, from a star perspective, right, is that the game is already so hard to be great at. Right, there's the difference between top 100 in the world, there's between top 30 in the world, and then like top 200 is so massive, right? It's so hard to be good at this game consistently, but then also the meta and the matchups evolve so drastically over time, and there's just some brutal matchups, right? So you put that in context, and what's hard about that is that there are some games where the top player just will almost never lose. Right, as long as the top player's on form, they're gonna win. They're gonna win most of the time, like almost all the time. Clash Royale, by its nature, the best player is still gonna only win, like at best 70% of the time, which is crazy. So it's hard. But I don't know how you fix that. Right? How do you change that? It's like inherent in the nature of the game, which is why research is so important. Like good analysis is so important. Hey, Rich, when are the next 4 teams playing? Well, after this matchup, we're going to have Pakistan versus Netherlands, and then that's it for me today. And then we'll have a whole another stream later today for the second half of today's stuff. Ayoshihi saying, in my opinion, it's not as matchup dependent as most people make it seem. Oh, I think that's fair. Here's the thing about matchup, right? I think it's matchup dependent based on the skill of the players. right? If two players are of the closer two players are in skill, the more the matchup is important. If there's a skill gap, then matchup can certainly be overcome. Greg saying the Expo versus Bait is a good example of the conversation. Expos commonly don't have a good matchup, but at the top you can always tank it to Rocket Cycle. In the end, make it easier to bait for bait since the tiebreak. Very interesting. Hey Rich, why don't you nerf Japan? Why would I? Man, I can't wait to go back and visit Japan again. It'd be so Tokyo was so fun when Andrew and I got to go there for Worlds in 2018, and I cannot wait to take Mrs. Slayton there and have a good time. And see the rest of Japan. I really only saw Tokyo and Chiba. But would love to see the rest of Japan. Let's see. Except chess, I don't see any other board game that's 100% skill-based. Yeah, but even chess, like, doesn't white win, like, 5% more of the games than black? Something like that? Like, even chess, you have a certain differentiation based on whether you draw white or black to open up. Mrs. Slayton asking for the keys to the car. Let's see. So I'm wondering what the delay is here on game number 2. We're waiting to find out. Let's see. He's in, let's see who we're talking about here. Indonesia follow or not? Not sure what we're talking about there. JP's form fluctuates, but he's just as good as the best. Yeah, JP is an interesting character for sure. JP is one of the most exciting guys to watch. This is why I made a little video about him. So we're still waiting on what's going to happen with the rest of this top 3, or the rest of this King of the Hill. Let's see. Greg saying, I think that one thing to also consider is that matchup doesn't always be 100-0. It can be 64. People still get frustrated. Yeah, that's true. Isle Shihi saying, for example, minor loon versus minor wall breakers NATO. Less skilled players on loon will try to win by loons at the bridge or minor chip. The better players will be carried by predictions or loon at the back, etc. Yeah. I let Mrs. Slayton drive the Ferrari? Yeah. Whenever she wants. Oh, show's moving to Japan next year. Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, I can't wait to go. Yeah, matchup is an important factor. But again, skill can overtake a bad matchup there, but it just depends on how closely matched they are in skill, right? So that's the big thing, right? When you have two players who are both at a certain skill level, matchup becomes so much more of an important thing, right? Because the chance of an outplay is so much less than before. Rejoice saying, Rich, is the only #1 country in no-tilt get the money or others too? The top 4, I believe. Something like that. Or maybe more than that. Do I know JTV from Indonesia? Yeah, he played for KIX, right? Mohammed Khan saying, can you battle me? I never battle a Khan. I learned that from how poorly that went for Captain Kirk and the entire crew of the Enterprise. People don't realize what the skill it takes to choose which deck at which time. That's also true as well. That's why Julesy made some decent cash in the first CRL top 8s, the first CRL monthlies. Japan's going to sweep Vietnam? Probably. I don't know what the delay is. Let me go ahead and find out what the delay is. Let me see if I can message them why we're not seeing anything else happen. Sir, I want to battle with you. I don't want to battle with you. So there you go. Solve that argument. Goblin Giant Sparky versus Splatchard isn't that fun. Goblin Giant Sparky, just overall, we can cross that one off. I'm finding out what the delay is about. Let's go ahead and I think someone, 1 second here. Checking on something. Do I think Brad should play competitive CR again? Not if he doesn't want to. Only if he wants to. I don't think anyone should do anything that, like, if someone doesn't feel... Look, competitive CR is such a brutal thing in general, right? So if you're not feeling the mojo, if you don't feel like putting the grind in... oh, Legend didn't accept, so it's a free win for Japan. Okay. Well, that's what Show's saying in the YouTube chat. Looks like Legend didn't accept the match. So Japan wins. Okay. That's fun. The green sunglasses looking good in the in the green screen. Yeah, these are yellow, so they're not quite keen all the way. You know, I have some more ones that are more green somewhere. Let me find like the soup. I have some that are like really green. Where are the really green ones? Yeah, these are really green. These ones will key out like crazy. Hold on. I don't wear these ones on stream like ever because of how green they are. But you want to see some glasses like really go out? Boom, there we go. These ones like these ones would like disappear, right? So there you go. So we're waiting on whatever's happening next. I guess. Okay, so I guess we're back in. Legend didn't accept, so now we're going on to the last game of King of the Hill. It's not a win for Japan yet, but Japan about to complete a 7-game sweep here. If Pandora can get the win here over Dramav, we'll see what happens. Do I play chess? Yeah, I play a little bit on chess.com. I mostly play 1-minute games because that's what I have time for. And I'm seeing some Dutch in the Twitch chat. Vietnam still has Dramav. There you go. So Pandora just sticking with some minor wall breakers. I think he's running. I think he's just running the same deck back from game number 1 of King of the Hill. Looking like something similar here from Dramav. Could be going Loon though with the bats, but probably wall breakers. Delta MK said, I believe in Mavzinho. What is he, Brazilian now? Rich, do you think the opening in chess is equivalent to choosing your deck in Clash Royale? No. No, I don't think so. Because choosing your deck, like the opening that you put out for chess doesn't affect the matchup, right? Like your opponent can just know how they want to respond to that opening, right? Like they might go book, you know, who knows how many moves into book you go, but you choose like whatever the opening is doesn't decide the game that early, right? I mean, chess is probably the greatest game ever made. Is there really a strong argument against it? Do I speak Dutch? I do not. I do not speak any Dutch. Wallbreaker's going to try to get on through 15:59 to 13:12. And guys, if you're like, hey, Rich, talk about the game a lot more. I don't think anyone's ever said that yet, but it's early morning. And we'll be doing more direct casting tomorrow, of course, during CRL. Balloon does connect there. Little miscalculation by Pandora. That one might cost him the game here. Because now he's going to have to overspend to really make sure he doesn't take any more damage. Aoshi, do you speak English? Some would say no. $874 to $393. Now, the interesting thing here is Pandora's going to have to overspend a bit and really make sure he takes no damage. But at the same time, he's going to prevent a lot of this. Oh, boy. Nope, he can't prevent that. It's a GG. Boom. Well, the clean 7-0, not going to happen. A miscalculation from Pandora early puts him on the back foot and opens the door here for Dramav. And Vietnam still alive for the moment. Do I speak Royale? We'll see. Steven, do I think that I reject the premise of the question, right? So when you ask a question that already has the judgment built in, that's where I it's sort of saying, hey, like, let's just put it in something. Do you think that what's a good way to put it? Do you think that the new, I'm trying to think of like what's a good thing about everyone's gonna be so annoyed by like whatever thing I choose here. Do you think eggplant is gross because, and then you give 2 reasons why, right? You've already set the question as eggplant is gross. Now, why is it gross? right? Now, I am going to agree that eggplant's gross. It's the one food I would get rid of if there was one on the food, one food in the world I could toss. But Steven Yoon, your premise of your question begins with a judgment, and then gives us a reason to justify that judgment, right? So it's kind of like why I say I reject the premise of the question. CRL is tomorrow, early, which is part of why I agreed to do these matches today, so that I can get my sleep schedule ready for tomorrow. Catching them off guard isn't the right cards and answers risky plays for starting plays, yeah. Just lose so Mo can play. Yeah, we'll see. Let's go ahead, jump into game number 4. Japan with match point number 2. Kitassyan. Now this is where it gets interesting. If Kita loses this one, because Jack's not here, Japan would lose this set. So Kita does have to win this one. Greg saying, prime example, who is the best player and why is it Morton? Right? Right, yeah, so like let me change that tune, Steven, from your question, right? Like if someone said, why is Morton the best player? Is it because of his decks or because of his mechanics? Right? You're going, well, you've started the question with you started the question saying that he is the best player. Right? So again, that's a weird way to start a question. King Tower activation here, but does take the damage. Oliver, I learned more from Rich than in my philosophy class. Well, of the many things that I've done in my life, I was a competitive debater in high school. Traveled the country for speech and debate. Did the TOC circuit, Tournament of Champions circuit for Lincoln Douglas. Didn't do a lot of it, but I did make nationals my junior year. I qualified for nationals my senior year and then didn't go because I was like, why am I going to go? Like the end of my senior year. At that point, I was kind of, the competitive fire had gone out. But yeah, I was a competitive debater for 3 years in high school. Did my fair share of reading philosophy and such, and then I also taught the LSAT, the law school admissions test. I had scores for a top 10 law school and decided to teach the LSAT I taught it in classroom for 7 years, which, if you don't know, the LSAT's primarily a logic-based test. So you learn a lot about both good and bad arguments. Martique, why eggplant? You offended me. I love the food. Well, you know what? If the one group I offend is the eggplant lovers, I'll take it. Because, ugh. Worst food I ever ate in my life. I've never... Anyone who's ever... People have been like, well, you've never had me cook eggplant. And I go, that's sort of like saying you've never had me punch you in the face. Like, it's not going to feel better because you do it. Samuel Greenberg, I don't believe you. Go A's. So this is the deck. For those of you asking what I'm running on ladder right now, this is the deck, the one that Dermav is running that I am currently running on ladder. Minor Wall Breakers, Magic Gotcha. I like this one a whole lot. And currently, for those of you keeping track, I'm currently 58-61 on ladder. With 17 days left, I actually feel, in the season, I actually feel pretty good about that, because that feels like I could really make a push for a new personal best, potentially. We'll see what happens. Rich, what about the Golden Leaf? No, I have not consumed it. I have it. I will be eating it. I just have to get the right time and the right stream to do it. Mance Raider. Hey, Mance, how are you? When I punch in the face, it tickles. I get it. Magic Archer at the bridge. Smart bomb tower here from Kita. Kitassyan and Kensu Meshi, longtime 2v2 partners. Of course, Kensu Meshi no longer playing competitive, purely doing content creation. But definitely, it's one of my favorite pairs overall. Does not connect on the left-hand side, 542, but Kita's still in pretty good control here. I'm curious, what do you guys think about this matchup? So I'm trying to think of like when I play this one. I feel like I'm not typically that worried about Hog. And the ability to do that right there a couple of times. Dermav trying to vary up his bomb tower placement, but that's going to be it. That's it. GG. Well played. And there you have it. Japan takes the game. G to the G, well to the played. Japan could have had the 7-0, takes the 7-1. And let me double check that. I believe that Japan with that one clinches their group. 3-0 win against Pakistan last week, and in the first week, 3-0 versus Netherlands. So yeah, that is a 9-0 in sets for Japan, and they win the group. Japan easily going through to the next stage. Nice work. They look real good. Did I consume the gold leaf? Not yet. Again, I'll figure that out. Who decides the winner of a debate? GG, there are judges, which that is one of the challenging parts, right? Is that debate is not, it's not entirely objective scoring. It's subjective judging. So you got to figure out, you know, sometimes at the high level, you might learn, there's certain judges who you learn and you repeat. You know, I'll talk about that more once we get through the end of this one. Let's talk first about the game for a minute, and then I'll go and talk about chat for a little bit here. And this one was one of those matchups where I'm trying to think about, I'm curious what people say. I think Dermav had matchups said triple X. Let's see. Yeah. Princess saying Vietnam could not take a W with a favorable matchup. Yeah, in my opinion, so that matchup's an interesting one, right? Because when I'm trying to think of, because I've played that, essentially that matchup a lot of times. I do lose it occasionally, and it's often if like my cycle is bad early on, and I'm not able to, like if the first hog I don't have bomb tower or NATO, like if they're buried, that one can be annoying. You know, you misstep, you make like one misstep. I'm trying to think of like, if I can't get on tower early enough and then we get into triple and I'm not ahead, that's where I feel like I lose that one. I'm trying to think about that one a little bit more. Japan, look at this. Didn't lose a set, 9-0 in sets, and a plus 15 game differential. A plus 15 game differential. Let's see. Well, a plus 21 game differential would have been a perfect run. Plus 15 is still pretty nasty, right? How many total games? I think Show's still in the chat. Show, how many total games did Japan lose here? That's crazy. Mikey with the $7 Canadian. Rich, the best caster ever. Thank you so much, Mikey. I do appreciate it, guys. Mikey isn't just a great donator, an amazing power lifter. He sent me videos of him lifting weights, and now I'm intimidated. Let's put it that way. Crazy. Netherlands has Bob the Rock. I don't think they do. I was looking at the Netherlands roster, and I don't think Bob's playing. The Netherlands roster that I saw is like kind of crazy. Giuliano, CycleRider, Marnix, Sima, Karel de Grote, and Baukith. I don't see Bob on it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if Bob's playing. We will see. Maybe I have the wrong roster, but Bob was not on the roster that I saw. I don't know really much of this Netherlands roster. They went 18-3. Is that how? Is that what Japan did? 18-3 in games. That's just bonkers. So okay, but keep in mind the top two teams go through. Let's go back to this one more time. The top two teams do go through. Vietnam is now out. So Netherlands, Pakistan, this is a playoff match. The winner goes through, the loser's out. So this is actually going to be really fun, Netherlands versus Pakistan, because the winner will be 2-1, loser will be 1-2. So we get a playoff matchup here. Top two teams go through. We're going from 32 to 16, and that'll be pretty cool. All right, guys, we'll be back in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes to the next matchup. I'm going to go and refresh my water, refresh my coffee, grab a quick snack, and I'll see you guys back here in a few minutes for Pakistan versus the Netherlands. Let's go. Welcome back. Those of you who are on break. Coming up next, a playoff match. Winner moves on to the top 16, and the loser leaves town. Pakistan versus the Netherlands. Hey, everybody. Hope you had a good 5-minute break. I hope that you achieved all your dreams and goals in that 5 minutes. That's probably pretty small dreams and goals that you might have had to achieve them in 5 minutes, but I hope you hit them right now. Are you doing what is that workout? You know what? Hold on. Are you doing the Bruce Lee workout? Is that what it's called? Maybe it's called the Warrior workout. Let me check this out. A friend of mine, Ron Swallow, a longtime comedian buddy of mine from Los Angeles, he is currently trying to get himself back in shape, and he's doing the One Punch Man workout right now. I'm considering starting this one because it sounds pretty brutal, and he's enjoying it, though. Here's the One Punch Man workout. It is every day. It's 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 100 push-ups. I don't know. Try that out. I don't know why that came to my head. But I'm debating it. Seems like it might do some good. Here's the story for the day. We just saw Japan clinch the group. 3-0, their third 3-0 of the group stage, so they definitely move on as the #1 seed from this region. Coming up next, right now, Pakistan versus the Netherlands in a single-game playoff match. The winner will move on, and as I said before, loser leaves town. That's going to be very interesting there. Later today, we go back up to our Group E action, where Turkey will play against Algeria, and Spain will play against Italy. And so far, for both of those teams, talking about Spain and Italy, Spain and Italy both undefeated. So the winner of that group will be taking the top spot, and the loser will also be taking one of the top 2 spots. So it's really just a battle for first place between Spain and Italy. Turkey and Algeria, both 0-2, so playing for pride at this point. That'll be later in the day. But our current Group D action, reminder one more time, this is essentially a playoff match. The winner will clinch second place in the group and move on to the bracket round, the single elimination bracket round that we're seeing later. So that'll be fun. Let's see. Let's take a look at the chat here for a minute. Oh, first let's take a look. Never mind. Let's take a look at the lineups here. Pakistan bringing out some players that you might know if you're involved in some of the semi-pro competition. TRB Sherry. I think that's supposed to be Tribe, but Sherry and Qasim, both 2 players that I'm familiar with. I think I've seen GhostRider before as well, but a lot of people here talking about Mo to Clap. So there already is a Mo, but I guess we have a second Mo now. On the side of the Netherlands, Giuliano, CycleRider, Marnix, Seme, I think, and Baukith. And then, of course, Bob the Rock has changed his name for this one. So you can see Bob 5th to the right as Karel de Grote. So I wonder if is that Bob the Rock in Dutch? I'm not entirely sure. What is Karel de Grote? I'm seeing Bart Vanderloo saying that's what a legend. So I'm not sure what that means. So here it goes to be Pakistan versus the Netherlands. Again, winner goes through, loser leaves town. And of course, the prospects for the Netherlands, it's a history legend. Okay, good to know. Interesting. This is such a change for the Netherlands, which were always a contender when, of course, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats, Surgical Goblin, was on the squad. Of course, now he plays a different game. So, very different world for the Netherlands. We'll see if they can move on here. It's going to come down to this one. Let's see. Karel de Grote is Charlemagne. Oh, really? That's hilarious. Is he Charlemagne, or is he just some other Dutch legend? I'm seeing back and forth stuff on both Twitch and YouTube. He's actually streaming right now. That's unfortunate. Well, everyone has to move on to something in some days, right? Let's take a look at the chat here for a moment. When does the game start? Probably in a couple minutes here. Let's see. Let me go back up the chat. There were some things I wanted to respond to in the YouTube side, but I was busy with other stuff beforehand. You're a bait one trick, and you switched to RG, and you tilted 600 trophies. Oof. Well, good luck. When did the stream begin? A little while ago. Can I give you a shout-out? Aditya Suganda. Sugand. Well, Aditya, I don't give shout-outs, Aditya Sugand. What I do give is some really fun commentary here, guys. Come on. Oh, you know what? I missed that reverse loan shark comment that someone made earlier, which is hilarious. Rich, it's your birthday. Aiden, it's your birthday? Congratulations. Happy birthday. So here we go. Sherry going minor wall breakers. And Goblin Giant Sparky for Bob. Bob is just... Is Bob phoning it in? I know Bob does play Goblin Giant Sparky. Minor wall breakers connects on that left-hand side. India is disqualified. Disqualified? Or I mean, they just didn't qualify. It's a bit of an early rage. I like that rage out of Bob. Because it's not even about the Sparky. It makes the Sparky more annoying. But really, it got the significant damage on the left from those minions. You know, every once in a while, you see a skillless deck. And yes, I did say skillless, because I'm trying to really trigger some people here. You see a lower skill deck, and then you see a higher skill play with that lower skill deck. And that rage... I know it's hard to say a high skill play of rage. That was actually a high skill moment of rage. Great call out of Bob. And that does keep him in the mix here. Bats will get a little bit of damage on the left-hand side. Sherry not happy about it. Brad Miner says, I'm a minor poison one trick. Not actually too horrible in this meta. My guess is that's not actually Brad. Some other guy. Good control here on the Sparkies. Irish Door saying no. No to what? Not entirely sure. Spears to the right-hand side. Just pressuring the opposite lane here. I guess good prediction there that Bob was about to go Sparky on the left, so he goes hard on the right. This is dual mode. The only card here that I'm kind of surprised, you know, you're talking about like why you choose a specific construction. Oh boy, oh boy. Miner does get down barely in time, but that's going to be a tower down left-hand side. That's brutal. That's brutal for Sherry. That's absolutely brutal for Sherry. Played such a great game up to the last 25 seconds. For 2 minutes, for 2.5 minutes, plays a really good game. And then Goblin Giant Sparky Rage, just Goblin Giant Sparky Rage is all over. And oh, that hurts. Ah, that hurts. Just too much. There's just too much there. All that on that left-hand side. And just look at how that Knight got absorbed. I mean, that Knight got evaporated on the left-hand lane. And now he's got nothing over here. Plays the wall breakers to stop the mini P.E.K.K.A. I don't even know if that's worth it here. Oh, to somebody else. Got it. Rough one for Sherry, who's been in my streams and in my tournaments a lot in the past. Love to see him get some good moments here. That one hurts. Rage needs to be reworked into a spirit. I don't hate the idea. Well, you know, I said it before. I hate to say that there's a skill moment with this deck, and we saw one out of Bob earlier. Here we go, game number 2. So minor wall breakers played in game number 1 for Sherry. Might be going with RG game number 2. Bob with the Goblin Giant Sparky Rage in game number 1. Ewiz is out, looking like Graveyard this time. The thing about Sparky in game 1 is you have a lot more normal cards for games 2 and 3. Yeah. Look, and that's one of the things about dual mode that I think is probably needs to be, as we go deeper and deeper into it, and I'm hoping we see more of it this weekend. Right, is players really thinking about crafting a full 3-game plan as opposed to playing just 3 decks and playing game by game. Knowing interactions and counting the cards are the important things when playing that Goblin Giant Sparky deck, says Player over on the YouTube side. And here we go. Zappy's split. So it's looking like Graveyard at both directions here in game number 2. Isn't Lumberjack already sort of a Rage Spirit? Yeah, sort of. He played the Wallbreaker to try to trade towers, but Mini P.E.K.K.A came down at the same time. I think Mini P.E.K.K.A came down a little bit early before, didn't it? But maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. That's an early Graveyard, and I think he's trying to make room for the Cannon card, actually. Smart play there for Bob. Forces the Cage out high early. I don't think the Cannon card gets through. Just barely comes off its wheels. But Bob's going with some creative plays here. Really, really early Graveyard. And nearly pays off huge. Still gets a lot of damage. 1439 on the right-hand side. No, his highest is not 4,700, Alex Lynn. You know what? I can actually go ahead and find... I'll go ahead and find his Twitter and tell you what his actual highest is. These highest are all based off of... all the stats that you're seeing there are based off of whatever current account they're playing on. And as you know, not everyone is playing on the account that they've got their personal best on. So I'm going to go look up Pakistan. Let me look up Sherry's Twitter. And Sherry's personal best is 8.2K. So there you go. Do I think Heal Spirit needs its old stats back for 2 Elixir? I don't know. Fireball in does get the Hunter. Bob currently in a good spot. Running Fireball arrows. Doesn't that kind of trigger you a little bit when you see something like that, like Fireball arrows together? Vinay Sharma, are there any players from India? Well, Vinay, this is an international. This is a nations competition. So if your nation qualified, then there are players from that nation. But everyone's playing for their home country or country of descent. So India did not qualify for this stage, so there are no Indian players. They were in the previous stage, in the stage of 64, but this is the round of 32, the group stage, and no, India did not make it this far. And that's a GG. Bob with a quick 2-0 here against Sherry. Creative gameplay out of the Dutchman. There you have it. Nice work. Little replay action here, and Cannon Cart just shredding, absolutely shredding. He's up so much Elixir right now, right? You see the Elixir being even on the in the hole, but with that 5 Elixir on the board within the Cannon Cart, just easy pickings. Absolutely rough for Sherry. Clean 2-0 there for Bob. Did Singapore qualify? Singapore is in this stage, but I believe they've already been eliminated from contention. Let me look. It's not Singapore. Never mind. My bad. Singapore did not make it to this stage. Taiwan did. My mistake. Let's see. Fireball plus arrows be more versatile. Can take out troops like E-Drag. Yeah, that's true. I don't think that's current. Probably didn't play ladder for me since I just played a GC. Yeah, the highest is not 470. At Alex, his highest is 8.2K. What about India? India did not qualify for this stage. It did not make it through. The list, let me go to, maybe Stats Royale probably has it because they're doing all the stats support for this. Let me go ahead and find where Stats Royale has all that. No Tilt Worlds 2021. Here we go. So here you go. This will give you all the information you need on the No Tilt Worlds right now. All the group stage info. Whoa, why did my computer start chugging. Why did I drop down to 16 frames per second? That was crazy. Let's go back into the gameplay. Did Stats Royale make my computer chug that hard? That's nutty. Hunter Williams says, thank you for casting my every stream's in Spanish. Yeah? Well, the Spanish audience for Clash Royale is huge. Why is my country Malaysia not in there? They didn't qualify. Is Saudi Arabia in there? I don't believe they qualified. If you go to qualifiers, you know, I'm gonna switch over to the qualifiers page and see the qualifiers section. Let's see. Iran was in Group F with China, Pakistan, and Malaysia. They did not make it through. Someone asked about Iran earlier. Singapore was in Group H with Japan, Taiwan, and Australia. And, of course, Japan and Taiwan went through from that group. India was in a group with South Korea, Vietnam, and Hong Kong. India got third in the group, so they did not move through. So those of you guys asking about these different countries that, why aren't they here? Well, they didn't qualify through. Saudi Arabia. Did Saudi Arabia play in the event? I'm looking for Saudi Arabia right now. I don't think Saudi Arabia was in the qualifiers. Yeah, I'm not seeing Saudi Arabia in the qualifiers. I'm seeing Syria. I'm seeing a lot of Middle Eastern teams, but not Saudi Arabia. Kazim was American. How's he playing for Pakistan? Because you're able to play for, you know, it's sort of, you know, like international football rules, right? If let's say that you're born in Brazil, but your parents are from Japan, you can play for Japan. But all the information is there for you guys if you want to follow along with it. It's all there on that Stats Royale page. So first set was dual rules. Second set, you can see the crossed swords. This is just standard Clash Royale. No bans, no nothing. Just play a best of 3 in Clash Royale. What about French Guinea or the Falkland Islands? Good point, Irish Door. So the favorites are Japan, China, and Spain. I mean, South Korea is certainly on that list as well of favorites. Japan, obviously, a strong favorite. Spain, for sure. Portugal's one of my sleeper picks. Germany's definitely a favorite. France and Egypt both look pretty good. Brazil has to get a win. Brazil's on the bubble right now. Brazil's 1-1, and I believe I don't know who they play next. I think they play. Did they lose to Argentina? I think Brazil lost to Argentina. Game number 1 here going to Marnix. Yeah, Brazil lost to Argentina 3-2 on Thursday, which was yesterday. Yesterday they lost to Argentina 3-2. So Brazil has a matchup with Croatia coming up next week that they have to win. Or this, yeah, a second week they have to win on Saturday in order to go through. And are any Brazilians in, oh, Samuel is in CRL. Let's see, what time is that match, though? Did they schedule it around so it doesn't conflict? Because that'd be really important for them to schedule that so it doesn't conflict. Let's see. Brazil's matchup is Saturday. Oh, it's in the afternoon. Okay. So I think that Samuel's on that Brazilian team. Let me look here. If he's not, that'd be a disappointment for Brazil, right? Let's see. Brazil, yeah, it does have Samuel. So, yeah, Brazil plays a must-win on Saturday that Samuel will be in after CRL. We'll see if he plays. If you're a Brazilian fan, you're certainly hoping that he does. This is the earliest I've seen Rich Slayton stream. Nice work. I'm in Cerritos, California, streaming tomorrow, the monthly event. I am always streaming CRL. I'm always going to be on the CRL streams, but I'll be, of course, on the official one on the Clash Royale Esports YouTube page. What group is Jamaica in? Not going to be in. Here we go, jumping into game number 2. Lucas and Wallace, too. Same for Lucas. Oh, yeah, I mean, Brazil has a great lineup, but I think the only one who's in CRL tomorrow is Sam, right? Let me go look at the lineup for tomorrow. Let me remind myself. I have to spend some of my time doing my prep for tomorrow. I know it's like Igor, Morton, Samuel, Mini Minter, Mark. Let me see what the whole list is. There's all this no-tilt stuff I think about. Okay, here we go. So tomorrow it's going to be Mini Minter, Line, Igor, Morton, Samuel, Pandora, Air Surfer, and Mark. That's a heck of a lineup. That's a heck of a lineup. Fadi, please don't leave us a Spanish commentary like you did yesterday. What do you mean? I can't cast all of these things. I have like work to do. Rip Qasim says Blaroni with a rough matchup. And Bart says great matchup for Marnix. Yeah. I'm going to be curious if Qasim has any sort of game plan. And Magic Paladin saying matchup in Kazim's favor. This is the funny part about matchups, is everyone has different opinions. And it's probably depending on which deck you play, right? If you're a lava miner player, you probably lost this a few times. You go, oh well, this is Kazim's matchup. And if you're a graveyard player, you probably go, oh, this is Lava's matchup. But it's a pretty bad matchup for Kazim. Is Morton participating? Yeah, Morton's playing for Germany. Yeah, Bart. Yeah, this is definitely Marnix matchups. Yeah, for sure. It's just so funny with matchup. If you play a certain deck, then you'll basically say except for like one matchup or two matchups, you'll say that every matchup is a bad matchup for you. Delta MK saying Lava with Inferno is the most difficult matchup for Splash Yard, although Marnix does not have barbs. Yeah, I mean, the barbs would make it easier in some ways, but you can't get any tanks across, as you're seeing, because that's why you're talking about the Inferno. Why is Kixlight not playing in CRL tomorrow? Because he didn't qualify the Legend. He didn't make it to the top. He didn't make it top 8. GG saying, yeah, it's cognitive bias on matchups. Yup, 100%. And that's an easy GG, well played. The Netherlands up 2 sets to 0. If Lava has Barb, then it's an 80-20 for Marnix. So there you go. Yeah, Delta MK saying Netherlands currently has 4 analysts, 2 coaches, and 3 managers. Yeah, it's actually really funny. Looking at the roster for the Netherlands, it's like of all the teams that have these huge staffs, the Netherlands staff is like insanely large. Hold on. Yeah, let me go look at it again. It's like of all, they have one of the biggest staffs overall of the team. Their staff is way bigger than the team, right? Like most teams have like 6 players, and the Netherlands is going 6 players. You need 6 managers. Hold on, let me go ahead and look at it. I'm trying to bring up their roster. Here we go, yeah. They have a head coach, 2 managers, an assistant coach, 3 analysts, and then 2 player captains, and then 4 more players. A lot going on there. Someone saying it feels bad. Embarrassing to Pakistan lose like that. Well, it was a terrible matchup for Qasim. Bad poison as well, but terrible matchup for him. What is a sleeper pick? Yash Varden. A sleeper pick is a team that is not favored, but that you think could do very well in the tournament, right? So it's not like, Japan would not be a sleeper pick because no one's sleeping on Japan. Everyone's going, yeah, Japan's one of the favorites. But Portugal is once again one of my sleeper picks because people don't think that they are as good, but I think that Portugal has, like they did last year, Portugal has a really good shot at beating some quality teams and going pretty far in the tournament. They've changed their lineup a lot, right? So now it's still, they still have Jibas, Vitor, and Lucas. GSM, not Brazil Lucas. They've added a couple new players to it overall, but Portugal's always competitive. As some people have talked about in the past, socially, Portugal doesn't mix in as much with the other teams as maybe some other countries do. So Portugal has kind of a somewhat insular scene, so they don't get as much credit. But I called Portugal was one of my underdog picks or sleeper picks last year, and they are again this year. Argentina is KFP's sleeper pick. Yeah, they're legit. What's Argentina's lineup? Let me look at their actual lineup. Lince, Framcito, Bancito, Ali, Lauta, and Exodio. Yeah, those are all good players. They're definitely capable of winning games. That's for sure. And I think right now, let me look at Argentina's group. Yeah, they're 2-0 in their group. Yeah, so they've already qualified. Argentina's are... Oh, wait, they're not necessarily. Because Brazil plays Croatia and Russia plays Argentina. Oh, that's interesting. But if Brazil beats Croatia, they might have already qualified because of the tiebreakers. We'll see. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Can I tell you when Germany is playing next? Germany is playing next on Friday the 26th against Portugal. So Friday the 26th against Portugal is when you'll see. So a week from today will be the Germany matchup. Germany versus Portugal, their final. And SEMA playing. So here we are in King of the Hill. Golem versus an interesting graveyard deck. Portugal been integrating a lot lately. Yeah. No, Portugal has integrated more in the last year or so, and Vitor kind of opened that door up. That graveyard going to do a lot of damage on the King Tower as well. Oh boy, that's a huge, huge, huge. I mean, look, I understand this is how you play Golem, but what? But what? Lightning in. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know. What is Max's 8th card here? Because I don't know if I've seen this graveyard deck with Fisherman, with Fishboy Hunter from Max. What does he have to tank for the graveyard for a King Tower push? I do want to say that I think Max is the best dressed player so far I've seen in Clash Royale. Like, look at the jacket shirt combination. P.E.K.K.A in the pocket. All right, so it's P.E.K.K.A GY. Not Mega Knight. And didn't P.E.K.K.A 2 brawlers on the board. NATO has to pull all that back. Snowball does get on the bats. P.E.K.K.A. Oh, that Spanish lineup. Bale, JP, Ruben, Kuchi, Javi, Michifu. That's such a nasty lineup. So aggressive graveyard here, and that's the it feels like the right call to get aggressive and just try to not let a Golem get played, but Golem's gonna get played right here. No, he cages. And now he's going to wait for them to come up a little bit more, and then maybe Golem in the pocket here? No, behind King Tower. Interesting. Have I seen Steven from Vietnam, though? He was stylish. I need to look at him again. I mean, look, Sima with the Sunnies, I can support that. P.E.K.K.A meets the Golem high, but Icewiz keeping Mama P.E.K.K.A from getting over to the Golem with that high Golem. Second P.E.K.K.A down, though. That's a lot of value on that Lightning. And a Golem, 2 Ice Wizards, and a Baby Dragon on the board. Second Golem in the pocket. This is looking really rough here for Max. Fishboy to pull the Golem apart, but does not. A great Night Witch from Sima to distract the Fishboy. 2 Golems going to maybe pop on the tower. Cage does prevent. Final 14 seconds here. Can Max hold off enough damage in these final 10 seconds? I think he's going to do it. No, King Tower. No, King Tower. And look at that. Look at that. Wow. Just wow. To hold on that long. To hold on that long. Pakistan just, again, hearts broken. Playing a good game most of the way through, but just getting overwhelmed in the final few seconds again today. Again today. Wow. And take a look at this, right? So the fish boy pulled out there, but look at what it didn't finish the job. And you see it's feeling okay, but look at this King Tower just getting shredded. The bat's doing so much damage. Night Witch down there. The bar barrel in the pocket for tankage. That bar barrel in the pocket was beautiful. I hope someone clipped that. Did someone clip that? Hope someone clipped that. Look, I'm a Golem hater. I'm a well-documented Golem hater. That was fun to watch, though. That was fun to watch, though. And Pakistan does finally get a game on the board. Or never mind. Why was it a red crown? That was Netherlands. I saw the red crown and was like, oh, that's a Pakistan crown. No, it's Netherlands. So why is it a red crown? Isn't it supposed to be... They have the colors are all mismatched on the screen. Is there another match after this, says Isle Sheehy? No. I mean, there are later today, but this is the end of this stream. GG, well played. Night Witch with half HP, tanked 4, took the game. Yep. Crazy. Is there a Team India? Yes, they did not make it to this stage, though. Golem players, ridiculous, same moves. Yeah. Yeah, well-documented Golem hater. Yeah, I've never let Golem. So here you go. A lot of you wanted to see Mo. Here he is. But will he be able to step up for his team in this very important moment? So far, they have not taken a game. Is there a Team China? No, there's no Clash Royale in China. Didn't you know? Oh, SEMA requested in games. I was messed up. That's what was going on. So a bit of a staring contest here. So is SEMA going back to Golem one more time? It is certainly possible. And as we're all hanging out here, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Why? Because I'm giving away $50 and 20 pairs of Gooder sunglasses. You like my shades? You think they're cool? Well, you could win, not just, you could win one pair. You could also win 15 pairs. You could win enough sunglasses to wear a different pair every day for 2 weeks plus one more day. Follow me on Twitter. The contest will be taking place there. I'll be posting that right after the game is over. Right after today's stream is over, we'll be posting up the contest. And you can win some of these fire Gooders like I'm always wearing. There's a link coming in chat. It will be a closest HP contest. If I win, I'm going to wear 15 at the same time and only at the same time. I like that, Martique. Strong move. Well, one of these guys will play... Why is there no Clash Royale in China? I can't tell if people are trolling or not 95% of the time. The internet confuses me. I feel like everything is a potential troll. You know what I mean? Does anybody know what happened to Team USA? Yeah, the team bus went off a cliff. They all survived, though. But that's what happened. And this is fascinating. Trying to go for the same snipe concept, but SEMA goes with a slightly different variation. Instead of going to the ground, goes to the skies. And this is going to be interesting to see who can kill a tower faster. Night Witch sets up to the right-hand side defensively. Miner goes right to the front of their side here. Is that Flying Machine get on tower? Will the Flying Machine get on tower? The Flying Machine gets on tower. That's a GG. Just barely, though. Look at that graveyard stacking up. That could have been a fun finish. Instead, it's now a 2-0 for SEMA, and the Netherlands with a chance to put on a 7-0 today. We'll see what happens. Mo to clap. Well, looks like it's Mo be clapped instead. You see what I did there? Because it was, yeah, you get it. Fireball in. And look at this on the left-hand side. Just Absolute shred job. Graveyard on the right. Runs through that tower, but Barb Barrel cleans up enough. Mo with all that hype, lost a flying machine at the bridge. Yep. Yep, indeed. I'm a max level sarcasm mage. Yeah, look at that. Flying machine at the bridge. GG, well played. Man. Well, there you go. The Netherlands, one game away from qualifying. They now have 3 match points in a row. So it's all going to come down to one player for Pakistan. How did the bus fall off a cliff? It was a very thin cliff and a very bad driver. But they all survived. In fact, they all got stronger. You know, they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, that's what happened with Team USA. How many more weeks is the group stage? This is the we've begun the last week. It will be done by next weekend. The final day of the group stage is March 28th, where the U.S. will play Colombia and Mexico will play Peru. Here we go. So aMmAr against Seema. 10 cards played in the game total. Yeah, that was pretty funny. And Pakistan's just running this P.E.K.K.A GY deck 3 times in a row. And running the same attempt at a snipe 3 times in a row. They're gonna lose. I think they're gonna lose this 3 times in a row. That's just what it feels like. Fishboy slides through. Does P.E.K.K.A get a shot? Oh, she does. She almost gets 2 here. Banana peel. Oh, Doyle rules, right? When will you cast me on the official YouTube channel? When you make CRL. There you go. So, they're going for the same snipe deck 3 times. Will it work this time? Pakistan is hiding decks harder than Space Station Gaming. Oh, my lord. Oh, deep with the comment of the day over on Twitch. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, that's brutal. Who will win it all, in my opinion? I don't know. We have a lot to see. Depends on how the bracket plays out, right? Like, where does like, is there a death side of the bracket or a good side of the bracket? That will be the big question. This is the right matchup again for Pakistan. Oh man, that was so funny. All right, so this time Zappies and P.E.K.K.A. He's not gonna golem here. Poison will get decent value. Good NATO though. What I'm keeping an eye on the most right now is the elixir, right? And right now aMmAr is stacking up a pretty nice elixir advantage. Seema has to find some way to slow this down and make a couple positive trades, but if you look at the actual cards, look at these 2 decks, not a lot of great ways for him to make positive trades. Waiting on another P.E.K.K.A right now, looks like aMmAr. He might go for a King Tower activation here with a Fish Boy. And that Zappy just holding on. Yep, here comes the King Tower activation. The Lightning tried to get the Fisherman done. That's going to be a GG. Okay. So Pakistan runs the same snipe deck 3 times in a row, and they finally get the win. Can I tell you who's in the Mexico lineup? Cesar Garcia. You can go to Stats Royale and look at the Mexico lineup. And Mexico's 0-2, so Mexico's already out of the tournament. I'll tell you who I'll look at the Mexico lineup, but they are already eliminated. They did not have a good tournament. Let's see. Who is on the already eliminated Team Mexico? Where are you at? Where are you at, Team Mexico? There we go. Anaban, Wero, Betfus, Diego E, and Kevin. And they're already out, so there you go. I think they're already out. They're 0-2. I can't imagine that the 1-2 team makes it. I could be wrong, though. Because I think that... Let me look at that group for a second. I think they're already eliminated, though, because let's see. Mexico is 0-2. The U.S. and Peru are 1-1. And I think the U.S. and Peru play this week. Oh, no, U.S. plays Colombia. Okay, so technically Mexico could still make it, I guess. If Mexico beats Peru and the U.S. loses to Colombia, potentially Mexico could make it. Right? If the U.S. Let me look at that one more time. If the U.S. loses to Colombia and Mexico beats Peru, you would have 3 teams at 1-2, and so Mexico could still technically make it. Okay. So Mexico's not out yet. Hey, VDD rating with a party of 11. Thank you for joining up, everybody who's coming. This is the No Tilt Worlds, and Netherlands having its 2nd match point. Double D in the building. Is Team India still in the tournament? No. So looking like Lava Miner here for Baukith. And aMmAr looking like some GY. And here goes the GY push opposite lane. 7 for 7. Miner comes out on defense. Baukith not with the... Not having his... Oh, boy. Yeah, oh, boy. Well, you better get that tower trade there, buddy. You lost a lot of brain cells in your stream. Well, good luck recovering them. That was rough. No HP, though. Can the Inferno Dragon get on tower? No way. Oh, it's not being tanked for, though. Does it get the burn? That gets a ton of burn here. Wow. Wow. Well, this is an interesting game that we've seen so far. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't break this game down for a video. Barb's out of hand. Yeah. Barb's out of hand, and now we're back to square. Although, Graveyard with a pocket play here, and there we go. Could take this. Yep. Arrows do clean up a lot of the GY, but tankage still happening on behalf of the Mega Minion. Lots of damage there. So, Lava, Loon, Inferno, Baby, all on the right-hand side. Poison trying to take that down. Snowball probably needs to come in here. Snowball needs to come in here. Snowball gets in too late. Playing pretty loose here, these guys. Hey, thank you, Joshua Eric. Do appreciate that you enjoy my videos. More of them coming, of course. All right. 999 to 923. Match point for the Netherlands. The second match point in a row. Cannon cart at the bridge. Miner does stop the cannon cart. Gonna have to arrows the leave on defense. Nope, doesn't need him. Wow, doesn't need him. Inferno and Baby with the Loon behind. That should be a GG. Nothing to stop the balloon at this point, right? Can't get back to a bomb tower. Gonna get the death damage on. Cycling the barbs early is an interesting call here. And now you go cannon cart in the pocket, right? There you go. Cannon cart connects. Did Baukith just throw? Did he just throw that? He just threw. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a weird... He did just throw that, right? So not just me saying that? What in the world? This was the weirdest... This was... Okay, look, this was fun to watch. But you know like a boxing match or like an MMA fight where neither guy is world class, but both guys land big blows and it's fun to watch. That's it. That's what we saw. Dude, I said Cannon Cart's going to come in the pocket and finish that thing. So why didn't he notice that that was going to happen? Why cycle the barbs? Well, that's a thing that happened. So, third match point in a row for the Netherlands. Third match point in a row for the Dutch squad. Very interesting. Oh, never mind. I'm supposed to stay. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and jump into... Yeah, imagine Rich predicting the opponent's move and you don't, right? I'm just a caster. So let's see if CycleRider can finish this thing off or if aMmAr gets the full King of the Hill reverse sweep and keeps Pakistan alive. Not what I thought was going to happen. And Lava Hound again for CycleRider. Looks like it's going to be a very similar matchup. This has been fascinating. And thanks everybody who's here. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitch, throw a follow. There's more competitive Clash Royale on these channels all the time. So if you like CR, you're in the right place, man. Here we go. Cannon card to the right-hand side. High cage. When do you want to put a wild card spot for me in CRL? What, you want to see the worst plays of all time? I have a very small deck pool. I will get countered real brutal, and then I will not even play it well. So strong elixir advantage right now. 5 elixir advantage for CycleRider. aMmAr might have to just eat this baby dragon. Yep, he does. Has to completely eat that one. And Lava's up one more time into the weak side. Good situation here for Cycle, in my humble opinion. Flying Machine is certainly not going to be as bad as Inferno, as is being pointed out in the chat. Good fireball value at the bridge here. Does the Miner tank for anything? No, it does not. Miner to the back, though. We'll get some good damage. It's an aggressive, a good cannon card. This is the right thing. Like, Cycle staying is pretty aggressive here. I mean, aMmAr's staying pretty aggressive here. Surely you improved a lot since casting CRL in 2018. Oh, yeah, I've certainly gotten better over time. But I'm never going to be the level of even these guys, right? Like, not to say these guys aren't good, but like, these are not CRL players, and these guys are still infinitely better than I am. $908 to $1347. 9 elixir to defend against this very big Lava Hound push. It's a solid Mega Minion. Knight now to defend the Mega Minion, which is a smart call there. Good play from aMmAr to keep that Mega Minion alive. Excellent Knight tanking. This Miner's going to go in and get enough room, and this is going to be really hard for aMmAr to defend effectively. Snowball does come in. He's falling further and further behind on elixir. Right, Mega Minion, he has to go ahead and pick this one up and take one swipe on his. Lava Hound down one more time with Night Witch behind. Final 70 seconds approaching. And look at the distance CycleRider split up between the Night Witch and the Flying Machine, making sure that Fireball couldn't get a good target. Arrows in on the archers, nice arrows, and look at that, one pup being tanked for. 18-19, now down to 738. Cannon card does pick up the Baby Dragon. Final 48 seconds. Again, remember, this is a match point for the Netherlands. not just match point, but qualifier point. If they win right here, they go through to the bracket round. aMmAr trying to complete the reverse sweep here. Graveyard does get in. Arrows to clean off the defense on the opposite side, and the Graveyard does absolutely nothing. And aMmAr calling the good game. Knows that was the moment. That was the moment right there. No recovery. That's a GG. That's a well played. And the Netherlands going through to the bracket stage. So the Dutch squad will be going through to the round of 16, the bracket round. Pakistan, tough outing today. Real tough outing. And they just leaned on Graveyard in this matchup. And this whole, I think they played Graveyard. Did they play a Graveyard variation every game of this King of the Hill? I think they did. Play Graveyard every game this King of the Hill. Leaned on it heavily. Did not get what they wanted. GG, well played. And there's your final result. Rough one for Pakistan. Nice outing. A little bit of a scare there for the Dutch squad. Almost got reverse swept. Maybe you need to, be a little less predictable with the golems. But still, 3-0 in sets. Nice work overall. Taking a look at the final Group D results. So here's the full result. Japan, of course, went 9-0 in sets. I think it was 18-3 in games. Japan just completely stomped all over this group. Absolute domination out of Japan. We saw them win earlier today. And then the Netherlands able to pull out 2 wins. Two good wins, 2 solid wins. Really separated themselves from the group. Of course, they also got completely blown out by Japan. And Japan continues to be one of the most dominant countries in Clash Royale, especially in this year. Only one Japanese pro making it to the top 8 this month. Of course, there were 3 last month. You can see Vietnam finishing with a disappointing 0-3 in this one. Pakistan falling just short. The Netherlands making it look pretty easy overall in today's match. So now we have some more of our top, the first 2 guaranteed for a group out of our top 16. Of course, some other teams have already guaranteed their qualification. Your top 16 will include probably both China, both China and South Korea will be in the top 16 because Taiwan and Israel are both 0-2. So your top 16, joining the top 16 is Japan and Netherlands. China and South Korea have already guaranteed qualification. Honduras has already clinched a spot in the top 16, alongside Colombia as well. Oh, no, maybe could Colombia get knocked out? The U.S. No. Colombia's already guaranteed a spot. Japan and Netherlands, of course, have clinched their spots. Spain and Italy have both clinched spots in the top 16. Portugal and Germany as well. France and Egypt as well. Argentina has clinched, and then we'll see if Brazil or Russia, or possibly Croatia, I don't know how that one moves out. So a lot of the top 16 has already been decided, and we have 2 more decided today with Japan and the Netherlands. Later today, we go to Group E action, where Italy and Spain have both already qualified. The question is who will be the first seed out of Group E and who will be the second seed out of Group E as they play the last match of the day. It should be a good matchup either way. Turkey and Algeria both already eliminated, but they will play a match for pride. We'll see if they swing for the fences or what they go for. But that will be later today. That's not going to be me. I don't know who's streaming that one, but that's going to be not on my channel. But that will be later today, 1900 UTC, so in a few hours. And of course, if you go to Stats Royale, you can follow along all the information and see which groups are still in a tight race, which groups have it already locked down. And let me go ahead and pop back out here for a moment before we sign off. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. It's been a whole lot of fun. The next matches will be in a couple hours, not on my channel, on someone else's channel. I don't know where. If you haven't yet on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't yet on Twitch, go ahead and follow. And again, guys, later today, as soon as the stream is over, I'm going to be doing a contest on Twitch where I'm going to be giving away $50 and 20 pairs of these bad boys. You like the gooders? You like the fire? You like the flames? Let me go ahead and show you the pizzas. Boom. Yeah, you like the good stuff? I'll be giving away 20 pairs plus $50 on my Twitter. The link is in the chat right now for Twitter. But you go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and I'll be doing a giveaway and announcing it very soon. It'll be a lowest HP challenge tied to this weekend's CRL competition. The winner will get $50 plus 15 pairs of Gooder sunglasses. And then, of course, I'll be giving away 5 more other pairs as well. So go ahead and follow me there. That's going to be it. I'm going to end the stream on YouTube, and then I'm going to find someone cool to host on Twitch. I'm Rich Slayton. It's been fun, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Clash Royale League. Later.